Have you ever heard that even deities can run into emergencies? Well, there's a peculiar story from the ancient town that illustrates just that. One day, the local earth god, with nothing better to do, transformed into an old man, dressed in coarse cloth, and went to the town to observe the lives of the common folk. While strolling around contentedly, he was suddenly struck by a sharp pain in his stomach, doubling over in agony. It was then that he realized he had forgotten to find a suitable place in advance. Clutching his belly and stamping his feet in desperation, he hurried toward the crowded area, hoping to find an outhouse for relief. By the roadside, Lily, the owner of a rouge shop, was busy tapping her abacus and calculating her accounts. The earth god quickly cupped his hands and pleaded, "Kind lady, this old man is in urgent need. May I borrow your outhouse?" Lily glanced sideways at his patched up clothes, curled her lip, and said, "How could I let you sully my clean shop?" With that, she splashed the foot-washing water right at his feet, spattering his pants with droplets. With no other choice, the earth god, still clutching his stomach, ran to the town's most luxurious silk store. The owner, John Goldsmith, was lounging with his legs crossed, sipping tea. Seeing the old man's state, he narrowed his eyes and said, "You want to borrow the outhouse? You'll have to offer something in return." The earth god fished out the few copper coins he had in his pocket and handed them over. John Goldsmith tossed them back after a quick weigh in his hand, saying, "This paltry sum isn't even enough to make a sound. Go find some wild patch to relieve yourself." Just when he thought he couldn't hold it any longer, the earth god spotted an old woman sewing clothes at the door of a thatched cottage on the street corner. With a trembling voice, he asked, "Elder sister, might I trouble you for a moment?" The old woman immediately set down her needlework and said, "Please come in quickly. The outhouse in the backyard is free." When the earth god emerged, the old woman brought him a bowl of warm water and said, "It's not easy being away from home. Have a sip to calm yourself." Touched by her kindness, the earth god felt warmth in his heart. Before leaving, he took out an old cloth bag from his pocket and said, "Elder sister, your heart is kind. Please keep this bag for small items." The next morning, when Lily opened her shop, she was horrified to find that all her fragrant rouges and cosmetics had turned into stinking black mud and stones. She sat on the ground, wailing and slapping her thighs in despair. John Goldsmith fared even worse. The splendid silks in his store had all turned into coarse, ragged hemp cloth. Customers took one look and turned away, and his business was completely ruined. Meanwhile, the old woman, Agatha, used the old cloth bag to hold some grain. When she reached in, she pulled out a handful of gleaming white rice. She reached in again and pulled out another handful. The bag had become an inexhaustible source of rice. Astonished and overjoyed, Agatha not only had enough to feed herself, but also shared the rice with the poor villagers. It was then that everyone realized the old man who had asked to borrow the outhouse was actually the earth god in disguise. Lily and John Goldsmith were filled with regret, slapping their thighs in remorse, but it was too late for apologies. The story has been passed down to this day, and the elders often say, "To help others is to help yourself. Show a little kindness to others, and you may one day receive unexpected rewards." This is what is meant by good people get good rewards, and kind hearts bear kind fruits.